All right, so the next step after putting on the oil pan is to install the lifters. In this case, the lifter trays. I'm just using stock Ls1 lifters. When you put the trays in, you're going to want to have these humps facing down towards the pistons. Your lifters, they'll really go in the trays two different ways. I'm not really sure there's a right way and a wrong way, but they do have these oil passages for the plungers. It's a pressurized system, so it really shouldn't matter which way you put it in. However, the oil comes from the front of the motor towards the back of the motor. So in theory, just trying to make it easy, I just face all the oil passages towards the front. Lifters go in just this easy into your trays, and then everything goes into the lifter holes. Easy as that. And then we just bolt them down. It's a 10mm bolt, and it gets torqued to technically 8.8 foot-pounds. That's an extra over again. And we just repeat that process for the other side, and then we can move on to putting the heads on. All right, once all your lifters are in, next step is to do heads and obviously the head gaskets. Ordinarily, if your motor has dowels still on the two outer bolt holes, you will just put your head gaskets right on the motor and they will stay there. However, machine shop took my dowels out, so the head gaskets obviously will not stay. So what I'm going to do is put the gasket on the bottom of the head through the two bolts, and then I will put the whole thing on as one unit. There we go. So ARP wants you to use their pre-assembly lube. I didn't put on those bolts just to get them started. I'm going to take those back out once I get a couple other bolts started and then go from there. With ARP's kit, you're going to have washers have two different sides. One side is serrated or textured, and the other side is not. The serrated side goes towards the head, and make sure the bolts are clean and dry. There we go. So with this ARP bolt kit, it's going to come with 3 different size bolts. Your main head bolts, these are going to be the 2 outer bolts of the middle row, and then the shorter bolts. Like I said, the shorter bolts go on the outside middle row, each head. The longer bolts go along the entire bottom, and the middle 3 on the inside. So now that we got all the head bolts touching the surfaces, we're going to torque everything down. So this is going to be a 3-step process for each of these bolts, and then just a 1-step process for the top 5 bolts. ARP has their own torque specs as well as their own torquing procedure to tighten these bolts down, which I will put on the screen here. But we're going to go around, tighten everything down to 25 foot-pounds for the first step. All right, step 2, doubling it, we're going up to 50 foot-pounds. Again, same order. Okay, and for the final step, we're going up to 80 foot-pounds. Okay, so now we're going to do the smaller 5 bolts along the top, 10 millimeter bolts to 25 foot-pounds. Okay, so now all our head bolts are torqued down. Now we're going to go over to the other side. So just like before, everything gets torqued down 3 steps, initially to 25 foot. To 50 foot-pounds. Okay. Step 3, 80 foot-pounds.